I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Right.
Fucking thing sucks.
In 5, 4, 3.
Anyone claiming that America's economy is in decline is peddling fiction.
I've abandoned free market principles to save the free market system.
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
Raising the debt ceilings does not increase our debt. It does not somehow promote profligacy.
I know words. I have the best words. Nobody knows the system better than me, which is why I alone can fix it.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Peddling Fiction Podcast. I'm your host, the voice and soul of so-called fiction, Johnny Profita. And back with me, of course, is the one and only Justin Throat Goat Hillbilly Boy Campbell. How you doing over there? I know we had to take yesterday off so that you could mourn the death of Dick Cheney.
Yes, that was a rough one. It really hit me right in the feels. As a fellow dove hunter, I just could not believe that he died. Or sorry, quail hunting. It was a quail hunting incident. It was so funny because when it happened, or when the news came out, I was in the car with my daughter, and her mom and her mom's girlfriend or whatever are like hardcore liberals. I was like, "Tell your mom Dick Cheney died. They'll be real happy." She's like, "Who is that?" And I said, "It was the vice president under George W. Bush." Said he shot one of his friends in the face while they were hunting, and his friend apologized to him. And she's like, "What? That's crazy." I was like, "Yeah, you should have been alive for it. It was really crazy when it happened." Like, how do you shoot somebody in the face and then they apologize to you? It's like, "I'm sorry, I shouldn't have been standing there. I was in the wrong spot. That was totally my bad. Not on you for shooting me in the face." It's
yeah, unbelievable.
Amazing.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
Anyway,
we
also
had to take the day off for the election. Although I guess you are in Mexico, so you don't vote, and Indiana didn't have any elections yesterday. It was the dumbest shit I think I've ever seen. The Kentucky Secretary of State put out like a big announcement on Facebook and other social media, like that said, "Stop calling. We do not have any elections going on today. Like, you can't vote. You can't vote for the mayor of New York. You can't vote for the governor of Virginia. There are no elections going on in the state of Kentucky today. Stop calling and asking why the polling places aren't open."
Jesus Christ, dude. With every single election, I lose more respect for the American people and just election, like the idea of having elections. With every single one that passes, I am more vindicated in my disdain for democracy.
Right? Doesn't that on its own just go to prove that there should be more required to vote than just to show up with a driver's license and vote? Like, the showing up with a driver's license should be the bare minimum, but you should have to take a test that shows that you actually know what you're voting for, who you're voting for, what's going on. Is there actually an election this year in my state? Like, these should be easy questions.
Yeah, you would think you'd need more than just a pulse to be able to vote, because elections are so important.
And if you fail the test, you're disqualified from voting this election and in the next one. Like, you need to take some time to learn what the fuck's going on. Sorry, that's...
Yeah, no, I believe me, I want to limit the suffrage as much as possible. Like,
speaking of limiting the suffrage and women's suffrage, did you see the statistics from yesterday's voting? Like, if that was not the most compelling evidence that the 19th Amendment needs to be repealed as soon as fucking possible, I don't know what could have been. Like, just overwhelmingly, women voted straight straight ticket liberal. Like, holy fucking shit.
Yeah, dude, and that, like, one of the biggest problems is that women are like, they're so much more emotionally driven, and that's all politics is. It's just all emotions. It's just them, all that shit that Mondani's even running on. Like, he can't even do it. I don't even think, like, he's I'm gonna make the buses free and faster. It's like, I'm pretty sure that's not even under the purview of the mayor. Like, he can't do anything for the buses.
As long as the buses show up on time, he did his job, right?
But it sounds good. And it's like, oh, yeah. And, like, don't you want to be compassionate and help these people? It's all just tugging at your emotional heartstrings. And women are so much more susceptible to that. And they've done a tremendous job of castrating men in this, well, I say this country, I'm in Mexico, but Mexico still has a good amount of machismo here. But in the US, they've done a great job of turning men into women, like literally and figuratively, so that they can control them with all this political, like we saw it during COVID, like how easily people were emotionally manipulated. And that's why you have to have like a fucking man with balls in the house be like, no, that's bullshit. We're young, healthy adult. We're going to be fucking fine. We don't need to get an experimental injection and lock ourselves in our house for the rest of our lives because somebody went on TV and scared you. And no, we shouldn't vote for this fucking Muslim from Ghana to run the biggest fucking city in the country who has, he has no experience doing anything. They're always talking about how like Donald Trump's unqualified. That dude's run fucking multi-million-dollar businesses at least. He's done something.
Right. Mamdani's literally never at any point held down a job, period. This dude has like not the wrong work experience. He has no work experience whatsoever. And yeah, the New York City elected a Muslim communist, but also possibly a Nazi.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Heil Hitler. Do it again. One more time.
There it is. I mean, that's it. That's all Elon did, and he was labeled a Nazi. That's it.
Elon did it with a little more gusto, though.
Is that what it is? It
it
depends on how fervently or how vigorously you do it.
Yes.
If you're just like real calm about it, then it's fine. But if you're like, then okay.
Yeah. And it's just, I mean, has a socialist ever fucking done anything before just taking control and running cities and countries into the ground? I mean, that's literally that's the only thing they're capable of doing. You cannot have, like, there's never been a situation where you start with socialism and then you progress to capitalism or something like that. You can't do it. You have to take all of the fucking gains from free market capitalism and redistribute them in your socialist fantasy to try to create this utopia. And of course, that inevitably implodes on itself. This whole thing is just so ridiculous. And it's so, listening to him like campaign and you know, the Bernie Sanders of the world, the AOCs who are like, that looks like where the Democratic Party is heading, is like the AOC is going to be like the head of it. Like, you know, like her worldview is sort of going to carry the party now.
It's interesting that you say that. I was flipping back and forth between Fox and NBC this morning, watching the different coverages of what happened yesterday. And the analysts on NBC were like, at one point said, Democrats don't need to take away from this, that what they need to do is run more socialist extremist candidates. Like that's not the lesson from what happened in New York City. I was like, don't tell them that. Let them think that that's what they should do. Like, don't give them ideas on how to actually like do good going forward. This should be the blueprint. You should have nothing but Muslim socialists running for everything. If you're the Democrats, that's all they should do.
Yeah, but I mean, that's where kind of all the energy is. And you have these younger generations of kids who have been propagandized to believe that what they've been living through and the hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of debt, which we're going to get into that a little later in the show, that they're saddled with, and no job prospects, and a crumbling infrastructure, and a fucked up healthcare system, and a fucked up housing market. Everything's fucked. They believe that's capitalism. And so they look around and it's like, oh, well, here, I'm going to give you have these politicians like saying this like childish, juvenile shit. Like, oh yeah, we'll just make this free. Buses free, free food, free healthcare, make everything free. That is like the most fucking infantile way of looking at the world. And that's what's appealing to millions and millions of people now. That is just, it's a scathing indictment for where we are as a country and democracy overall.
I mean, we are literally witnessing the fall of the Roman Empire. Like, this is what happened to Rome. They kept incentivizing people to vote for them with all these promises of bullshit, and never could deliver, and eventually completely wrecked their entire, like, everything. The whole empire was wrecked because of this. Like, we were watching it happen in real time, and people don't understand why people have such a fascination with Rome, because we are witnessing Rome 2.0 in real time, and we get to watch it all happen, like, literally in real time over the internet. It's crazy.
Dude, it's just, I'm still amazed every time of like how much lower we can go. Like, that's got to be as low as we can get. No, we can go lower. It can always get worse.
Hey, there was one little glimmer of hope yesterday, though. Minneapolis actually got it right and reelected whoever this pathetic looking little white dude is, as opposed to I'm the captain now. So,
dude, that guy is like cartoonishly Somalian.
I'm glad you
look
said
at him. He looks like a caricature of a like if there was just the Somalian like walking down like the boardwalk here, and they got the guy that does the caricature sketch. You like sit for like 5 minutes, and he just accentuates all of your features to make you look goofy. That is what this guy is. He is a caricature of a fucking Somalian. I dude, until you told me before we started the show, I thought he won. I just kind of assumed that he was going to win, I guess, because I rid off Minnesota a long time ago. But yeah, I guess that is a glimmer of hope. Who was the guy that they voted for? I mean, it doesn't matter. I would take a fucking, you know, when they have like a dog that just wins for mayor or whatever, that town that has the dog, like the golden retriever or whatever, that's just the mayor. I would take literally anything over a Somalian to run my fucking city.
Well,
or was it the state? What was he running for?
It's Minneapolis. It's
okay.
Jacob Frey is the guy that won, which they say he's a socialist too. So it's not like it was.
Yeah, he's probably not much better, but at least he's not Somalia bad. Like, what's the meme of like, oh yeah, go to Somalia, all you fucking libertarians who don't want. Like, it is a failed fucking state. They couldn't manage themselves out of a brown paper bag, and you're gonna let him run a fucking like a pretty major city in the heart of America? Are you kidding me?
Like, how crazy and just pathetic is it that we've reached the point where a hardcore leftist, borderline socialist was better than the alternative of a literal Somalian? Like, yes.
How do you like your choices?
Right.
It's
like
unbelievable.
New York City, they were all encouraging everybody to vote for Andrew Cuomo. It's like,
right.
What the fuck has happened that our options are Andrew Cuomo or a literal communist, like and a Muslim communist at that? Like, and I don't get on the whole, jihadist bullshit thing with Mamdani. I don't know. I haven't seen any evidence that he's any kind of a like serious Islamist or anything like that.
No,
but
it's more
definitely
emblematic. It's more just like emblematic of what's happening, and we've watched it happen in the fucking UK. Like, London is gone, and we watched it happen in Minnesota. These Somalians are taking over, and now Muslims are taking over. And remember when I don't know if you listened to any of the debate between him and Cuomo, but he was like, Cuomo, how many mosques have you visited? Like that, and Cuomo like immediately starts backpedaling. He's like, "Oh well, blah blah blah," The answer to that is like none.
None.
I'm
Why
not a
would I?
fucking Muslim. And dude, like we're importing all of these fucking people from all of these countries who have no interest in assimilating to America. They don't share any of the Somalians do not share like traditional American values. They're not coming here because they want the American dream. They're coming here because we're giving them, we showed the fucking chart on the last week on the episode. They're getting fucking welfare. And a lot of these fucking Muslims are getting it too. How long have you lived in New York City? Less than 5 years. 83% voted for Mondani.
Yeah, it's basically
76% 5 to 10
native
years.
New Yorkers did not vote for Mondani. It was all the people that have been, like you said, have been imported in here in the last 10 years.
Yep. Yeah, and dude, they're like taking over these cities. They're having a ton of fucking babies. They have no interest in what made America America. And you know what really drives me crazy is that the left who loves importing all of these third world countries. They're like, American was built by, having foreigners come over here and immigration. We're a nation of immigrants. Okay, but what was America supposed to be? Because it wasn't supposed to be this gigantic fucking welfare state where we're handing out things and we have this gigantic government. No. The America with a nation of immigrants had nothing. It had no social safety nets. It had no social security, no welfare, no minimum wage, no nothing, no like a limited government that was supposed to be a necessary evil to secure your rights. And they gave them enumerated powers. It was not supposed to be this all powerful fucking thing. And people come here and not what was that, dude? Those numbers were crazy. Like 70% of fucking Somalians or of Afghans are on food stamps. Like, why are we doing that? It should be zero if you're coming over here. Like, you should get nothing. Right. At a minimum, there should be like a cutoff. Like, I don't know, 5%. Okay, 5% of immigrants from your country are on welfare. After that, like we're stopping the immigration from your country. Like, we're not just going to keep taking people in here and giving them stuff, and for them to not become like Americans and value the traditional American values, the American dream.
Well, like Magoo says, European settlers and later immigrants are hardly similar to Somalis, Muslims, and Ghanans and all the others that are coming.
The worldviews are completely incompatible. Completely incompatible.
You are free
and a lot of those people that came over.
You are free to come here and pursue the American dream. That means you don't get a fucking safety net. You come and you find a job and you create something out of nothing. That's exactly the American dream.
And that's why a lot of people, dude, I forget the numbers because it was I was reading, I can't remember which book it was, but it was a while ago where it's like the vast majority of people that initially came over, they went back to fucking Europe because they couldn't hack it. It was not all just like sunshine and butterflies when you got here. Like, you had to bust your ass at building fucking railroads, working in coal mines. Yeah, it was not this like, oh yeah, you just come here and then like, here's your fucking EBT card and here's like some fucking Section 8 housing and here's some walking around money.
Here's your Obama phone. And
yeah. That's not okay. Well, we're a nation built on immigrants, and that's part of the American. Okay, then let's go back to the other part of America where we had a limited government, a republic, where the government wasn't up here like doing all of this stuff involved in everything: education, healthcare, housing. And by the way, they've ruined everything. Everything they've touched, they've fucked it up. You can't just cherry pick the things that you like and then turn on the immigration spigots and have this gigantic welfare state. It's not going to work, especially when you consider how, like where they like the parts of the world they're coming from are ridiculously poor. The idea that they can't survive, it's what are we now? 3 days into the they haven't gotten their EBT card reloaded. These Somalians can't fucking survive 3 days without couple $100 to go spend on food. Get the fuck out of here. It's ridiculous. Anyway, New York is you're in for some fun there. I saw Poly Market. Polymarket cited something. It was like 1 million. They had a poll that said 1 million New Yorkers were gonna flee New York now that Mamdani won.
Yeah, I saw that the other day. That was leading up to the election. It was like if Mamdani wins, something like a million New Yorkers were ready to leave, and most of the rest of the country is like, okay, tough shit. Like, we don't want you. Like, you have spent your entire life destroying what was once a great city. You can fucking stay and sleep in the bed you made. Did you see where Governor Abbott in Texas said that he was going to put like a tariff on anybody moving to Texas from New York? Like, they were going to have to pay some exorbitant tax. I was like, how do we get that in fucking Indiana? Like, if you try to move here from New York, you get to pay just out the fucking ass in fees and everything else. Like, disincentivize them from moving to your state, because all they're going to do is move to your state and fuck it up the same way they fucked up New York. Like, you made your bed, tough shit. Now you get to lay in it.
Yeah. Yeah. There's definitely a certain percent. I would like to think that a certain percentage of them have learned their lesson.
Except for Evan Johnson, good friend of the show. Evan, you can move here. I've even got a house for you. I'll kick the kids out and you can live right down the road. Like, you can come here. All the rest of the New Yorkers, though, fuck them.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't. You would like to think that's like, okay, yeah, we took it too. They've taken it too far, and we got to get out of here. But I think I don't know if a lot of them really make that connection.
They don't. They don't think that they took it too far. In Virginia, they literally voted for a guy who said he dreamed of watching his opponent's wife and children be murdered. And when he got called on it in the text, he was like, sorry, that's just how it is. And nobody ever said, no Democrats ever called him out on the carpet for that at any point ever. Like, they're like, oh, well, you know, it's whatever. No, y'all ran a whole fucking hit piece in Politico for some kids telling fucking stupid Nazi jokes. But that's just, oh, whatever. Fuck you. That's the double.
Yeah,
and they don't care. They don't care about the double standard. They don't care about any of that. The only thing they care about is winning. And that's the difference between Republicans and Democrats, is Democrats actually understand the only way that you win this game is to fucking win. You can't be nice to your opponent. Like, if you look at the Virginia governor candidate from the Republican side, it was a black woman who had been in the military or something. She was real, like, moderate, middle of the road. It's like, yeah, she was going to lose, because the people that turned out in 2024 to vote for Trump and to vote for, to vote red down the ticket, they're not going to show up and vote for that. It looks like a fucking DEI tire right out the gate. Like, we elected Trump. He did away with the DEI shit. Like, all of this is what the people who voted last year to create that big wave that overturned every single swing state wanted to see happen. And then the Republicans just spit in their face and did the exact opposite and went back to the fucking status quo. So yeah, you get to lose. Sorry. Fuck you. Like, this is not what we voted for. This is not what we wanted.
Yeah. The Jay Jones thing, that actually surprised me. I did not think he was going to, I guess I had a little more faith. He was running for attorney general. And dude, those messages, like the things that he was saying, were pretty fucking repulsive.
Again, go look at the voting demographics, though. You know who primarily voted in the state of Virginia? A bunch of fucking liberal white women. It was like 64% liberal white women that voted in, like, that.
He literally, like, he had one of the messages was like, yeah, you have like Pol Pot, Hitler, and who was the Republican candidate, like Willard or something? I forget his name. Miller? Whoever the Republican that he was running against. And he's like, oh, I'd put 2 in the Republican's head and kill Pol Pot or something. You have 3 bullets. So I guess he's speaking of Nazism, he's a Hitler sympathizer.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit like that. And it's like, oh yeah, people need to feel pain in order to come around, to change their mind on policy or something, which is why he was like, wishing death upon people's kids, because he thinks that would have them come around on the whole gun control debate. If your kids are shot with a gun, then you'll come around to his policies on gun control. Yeah, seemed like a really, really stand-up guy. Let's put him in charge. Fucking attorney general, dude.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the one that surprised me, I guess, was that one.
You have too much faith in humanity, Johnny.
Yeah. I thought those would do him in. I really did. Wasn't there like pressure for him to even drop out of the race at one point?
Nope, not from the left. Not at any point from the left. It was all right wingers were like, "Are y'all going to say anything about this at all?" And they never said a fucking word. They just acted like it didn't even happen. Like, and there was even some dipshit. I saw some dipshit commenting on a post about it. It was like, "Oh, well, that was taken out of context." It's like, no, it wasn't. The full text was released. Like everything was released. It's even worse when it's in context. Like you're a fucking retard. Like, but they firmly believe, oh no, he didn't actually say that. It was taken out of context. Like, no, it was fully in context. But did y'all read the Politico article? Did you actually look at the context of what those kids said? Because that was taken out of context. But it's this. But you can't argue about double standards with leftists because they don't fucking care.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. They like you said, the only time they try to pretend like they care is when they can try to use your morals and your standards against you.
Oh, Jim would probably know. Did that guy in Maine with the literal Nazi tattoo win? Like that, I want to know if that guy won because that was one of the craziest part. And like the dude, it's a fucking Nazi death camp skull and crossbones. Like
I don't know.
Not everybody's as well versed in like Nazi shit as some of us, but I'm just saying, like he knew. And then as soon as he got called out on it, he went and got a cover-up put on it. But he still left the 1919 tattoo. You know what the 1919 is? That's more Nazi insignia. But he left that, but he covered up his skull and crossbones. Like, fuckers.
Yeah.
He win? I want to know if he won.
Come on, Magoo. You're a Google. Yeah. It was I don't know, just with the exception of that Somalian dude losing, it was a pretty big loss for the well, I guess the guy that beat the Somalian is still a fucking crazy liberal. So big time blue wave.
The guy in Maine, his election isn't until 2026. So
okay.
Well, and that was the thing, is there weren't a whole lot like this big blue wave. There weren't really a whole lot of big elections. It was Virginia governor, New Jersey governor, New York City mayor, the Minneapolis mayor, and then there were a couple like special elections where people resigned or retired but those all, like, none of those flipped. They all went to, like, every single one of those where a Republican had been in the seat before, a Republican won, or if a Democrat had been in the seat before, a Democrat won. Like those, none of these special elections flipped. And the only one that really flipped was Virginia. Like, did anybody in their right mind honestly think that New Jersey was going to elect a Republican governor? No. Did anybody think that? I mean, New York City, you were either going to have Mamdani or Cuomo. You get a leftist or a socialist. Like Minneapolis, you get a borderline socialist or a fucking Somali. Like none of these were contested elections. The only one that was legitimately contested was the AG and governor in Virginia. But again, like I said, like if you paid any attention to the Virginia governor candidate and the campaign she ran, that bitch was going to lose. Like that was the most piss poor run campaign for a Republican coming out of 2024 that you possibly could have come up with. Like whoever was part of putting together her campaign strategy should be taken out behind the chemical sheds and have a bullet put in their head, because they are fucking useless. Like that is not the kind of people that you want running campaigns ever, 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 ever again.
Well, I'm sure they'll probably get the nod for Kamala Harris run in 2028. What happened with what about that chick, that fucking fat ugly chick in California? Would they have an election over there? Or is that not for another couple of years?
I don't think
she can't be campaigning for 2026 already.
I think the only thing California voted on was Proposition 50, which allows them to completely redistrict and wipe out all Republican seats from the state of California. Which, while they're in the process of doing that, you've got the spineless fucking cuck Republicans in Indiana that don't want to redistrict and go 9-0 and get rid of the 2 Democrat seats in the state of Indiana. It's like your political opponents do not care about decorum. They do not care about what's fair. They do not care about what's right. They only care about winning. Whenever the fucking Republicans going to figure out this is a game, and the only way the game can be played is to win. You play to win the game. And if you're not playing to win the game, you're fucking useless.
Yeah, I'd rather lose honorably. And not really that honorably, to be honest.
And not honorably at all. They'd rather lose like a bunch of cuck bitches and shield for fucking Israel. And I think that's part of what caused problems for the Republicans as well in some of these races and stuff. And just across the board is they have spent so much of the last 6 months just being complete and total shills for Israel that a lot of people are like, this is not what I voted for. Like, this is not America first. This is fucking Israel first. Like, the Republicans really need to take a second to step back and be like, all right, like, we're fucking up after a huge, huge momentum that we built literally a year ago. We've already pissed 100% of that away. Like, that's all gone. All that momentum's gone. Like, unless they figure it out and do fucking something, they're going to have problems.
Yeah. And especially if you're going to pretend that, like, oh yeah, you have standards and you're not going to be hypocritical like the left, then you really actually have to, if you want any of that to resonate with the American, then you can't be sending all this fucking money to Israel. You can't be funding these foreign wars. You can't be sending $40 billion to fucking Argentina and stuff like that, because it just chips away at that facade of you being principled. And then of course they try to primary Massey. It's yeah, the Republicans, they're as responsible for this fucking mess as the Democrats. And which is why I just hope the shutdown continues. Did you pull up the letter from from Chuck Schumer and Spartacus?
Dear President Trump, we write to demand a bipartisan meeting of legislative leaders to end the GOP shutdown of federal government and decisively address the Republican healthcare crisis. Democrats stand ready to meet with you face to face anytime and any place. Trump should write back and say, "Dear Chucky and Hakeem, go fuck yourselves.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Sincerely, Donald J. Trump."
Dude, it really is like the only reason I wanted to bring that up was the way that they worded this. It's like, oh, the GOP shutdown and the Republican healthcare crisis.
Number one, all of the Republicans have voted to reopen this. So the shutdown is because of Democrats, except for John Fetterman. Sorry, Fetterman's voted for it. And then the Republican healthcare crisis, the Democrats built into Obamacare that all of this would expire. They did this. Like, they are the ones who created this mess to begin with. Like,
why do you think they did that, Justin?
Oh, I wonder. Probably so that they could either. Well, I mean, they did it so that they could use it as a bargaining chip or as a leverage at this time. Whether they were in
better vote for us,
whether they were in power or not, this was all going to expire, and it gave them an opportunity to play hardball and be like, all right, we want more of this same bullshit, more of the same bullshit that has completely wrecked the healthcare industry for the last 20 fucking years.
Exactly.
Years,
Can you pull up the Bernie Sanders tweet? I sent you like right when we were starting the show. It's probably the last thing I sent you, because there's a guy complaining about what's going to happen.
I wanted to just say that I'm screwed, and my mom and my dad are screwed. Everybody I know is screwed if health insurance premiums go up.
The political standoff in the nation's capital is forcing millions of people to pay more for health care.
You are going to be receiving notices from your insurance companies that your rates, your insurance premiums are going up.
What it's basically going up to is our mortgage. So we can't afford 2 mortgages, and we have to decide what we're going to do, which is likely go without health care. It's insane that we have to have this conversation, and I have to make this video to tell you that we can't afford health care as 2 grown adults who own businesses and who work 7 days a week. I can't afford the health care. as a full-time employee. We both have elderly parents, one of whom is in assisted living. If Medicaid, Medicare, everything gets cut and the nursing homes close and hospitals close, what happens then?
I don't think you guys understand sitting in your ivory towers and thinking, oh, things are fine. They're not fine. They haven't been fine for years, but they're terrible now. So my dad was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis in 2009 after being laid off from his job during the housing market crash. My mom got cancer in 2022, kidney cancer. And so medical debt and the entire medical system I'm deeply familiar with. I work full-time. I go to school. My parents work hard. They scrape by. They barely make anything. And if our health insurance premiums go up, we're all screwed. Every single one of us. I'm beyond fed up and frustrated with this, and so is everybody that I know.
Yeah. And what was Bernie? Do you have the language that Bernie Sanders put in the tweet? Just for
Yeah, Bernie says, everybody I know is screwed if health insurance premiums go up. That's what's at stake in this shutdown. No, I will not vote for a budget that doubles premiums. I will not vote for a budget that makes the largest cut to Medicaid in history. Democrats must not cave.
Yeah. So to be clear, the government did this. They have created this entire situation. They fucked it all up. And then they built in the expiration of these subsidies for the premiums so that they can use this as leverage to get votes and to maintain power. And now look where, remember what that guy said? He's like, hey, things have been bad for a really long time, but now they're really bad. So they've put you in a position where you're aspiring to get back to very bad from really bad. That's your government solution. That's the lesson that you're taking away from this whole fiasco is that, oh, well, we better get it. This is what the government does. They break your fucking legs and they hand you crutches and be like, hey, you should just be thanking me that at least you can fucking hobble around on crutches now. They have completely fucked up the healthcare industry. They've made it so bad intentionally so that you just beg them to bring it back to a little bit bad. It's a disaster. Everybody should just opt out of this. The hospitals will not close. It'll be like when they were subsidizing student loans. Not every university is just going to close its doors if you can't borrow $50,000 to go get a Chicano studies degree.
And like, what kind of shitty fucking jobs do these people have that they can't afford their insurance through their job, through their like employer provided insurance? Like, I've got me, my wife, and our 3 kids that live at home. And plus I've got extra like voluntary life insurance for myself, for my wife, and for the kids. And I pay a total of $150 a paycheck. So like $300 a month total for our insurance. Like who are you? Like, what is your job that your insurance is so high that it's the same as your fucking mortgage payment?
Like $1,500 a month. I mean, the numbers that I've been seeing are staggering. I have no idea what's going on with it. I don't have health insurance anymore. I will literally just pay out of pocket. I mean, dude, when I did have health insurance through my previous employer, yeah, it was like a couple $100 a month total. And of course, I never used anything. I was young. I was healthy. You literally just need the catastrophic life insurance, health insurance, so that if you get hit by a car or you get one of those cancers that they're talking about or something, you don't go bankrupt. But they have like all of these subsidies have jacked up the prices of everything. They've ruined any sort of market forces that would be involved in this. Everybody just literally just everybody just, nope, not doing it, not paying into it. And then just pay cash. They will let you pay cash out of pocket. It'll be 70% cheaper, maybe even more. Especially if everybody does it at the exact same fucking time. Let's break this fucking thing. That's the only hope. You cannot, dude, letting the government claw its way back into this is just going to make it that much worse. And then 10, 15 years down the line, everything's going to expire again. And they're going to be like, look, do you really want to go paying $4,000 a month? Don't you want to just go back to $2,500? Those are not just your 2 choices. You can have a functioning healthcare and insurance market without the government. It will function a lot better, just like everything functions a lot better.
Well, and like
But
these people that are the people that are like, oh, what am I going to do? I have to pick between my mortgage or not having insurance. Like, what? I mean, what do you aside? Like, if it wasn't for all these esophagus problems I'm having, like, I haven't gone to a doctor in 10 years. And that was the last time I went to a doctor was because I broke my ankle. Like,
well, they made it illegal to get insurance that just covers that kind of stuff. It doesn't qualify.
Like, what are you going to the doctor all the fucking time for that you need this insurance so fucking bad? Like,
yeah.
And that's another one of the problems is like we've created this hypochondriac nation of people that think every time they get the fucking sniffles or something, they need to run to the doctor and get a Z-Pack or get an antibiotic or get something. It's like, like why?
They do that here. Like, dude, Mexicans will go to like the hospital for like, a friend of mine had like food poisoning, and she was like, I don't know, like I feel kind of weird. Like, I've never felt like this before. Should I go to the hospital? I'm like, no, just drink some fucking Gatorade. You'll be fine. I'll make you some soup.
Yeah,
you'll be all right.
You got food poisoning. You got food poisoning. Vomit.
But it's like, but dude, to go to the hospital here for that, it's like, it's negligible because they don't have this fucked up healthcare. Like you go to like a private hospital, overnights, like a 3-night stay with a bunch of tests and stuff is like $1,500 US, and that's like very, very, very expensive issue for Mexicans. But to just go, it's like it's negligible. It's like maybe $100 or something to go to the hospital and have whatever, broken arm, whatever. It's not that expensive. We could have that in the US. We don't. We did. We used to, but now we don't. And we don't because of the government. And now they've created this entire dependency class, and they're scaring people like literally to death that you're not going to be able to get anything if you don't reinstate the Obamacare subsidies, which again, I think that was supposed to save you $2,500 a month or something, $2,500 a year I forget what the numbers were. But that was supposed to make it affordable. And even with the subsidies, it's not affordable, is it? So what are we doing? And why are we posturing for more of that when it's an unmitigated disaster even before they let these things expire? How is that your takeaway? That we should do more of that? I mean, the government gets so much leeway. I've never understood this. Imagine if we did have just completely privatized health insurance and healthcare. Would anybody put up with this level of dysfunction? No. And there are like some companies, Crowd Health, I think is one of them, where it's not actually insurance, but yeah, you pay like $100 a month, and they get you like a network of doctors and everything. I think anything up to like the first 500 you would have to pay, but anything over that, the crowdfunding steps in to help cover the expenses of everything. It's something like that, where there are like some free market solutions that are, you can kind of opt out of this system a little bit.
Well, that's like so we have a doctor here in town that Stephanie and I have started going to, and it's $100 a month for the whole family. So if anybody gets sick or needs something, you just go see her. And like when you go see her, she'll tell you this is what we're going to do. If she needs to do blood work or whatever, it's like, this is how much it costs for the test that we're going to run. And then you can decide if you want to do it or not. And then you just pay for that. If she's getting you prescription something, she tells you what it costs up front. It's like, this is what you need. This is how much it costs. Like, everything is up front. You know what you're paying. It's all a fraction. Like when I had blood work and stuff done through the other doctor in town, it was like $320 to have some blood drawn and some tests run. When they did it here at her office, it's like $35 for everything. And it's like, what the fuck are we doing? I went and had a CAT scan. She got me set up, had a CAT scan done. And so she set it up through a health provider that they use to get the CAT scan done. Cost me $500 straight up. It's like I paid them $500. They send me a card that I take to the clinic when I get the CAT scan done. It's like they run the card. It shows that I've paid, and then everything's done. I don't get billed later. I don't there's no, I wonder how much this is going to cost. Like, well, we got to bill insurance, and then whatever insurance doesn't pay, then we'll charge you, and then we'll bill insurance again, and you're going to get bills for the next 6 months, and there's no telling how much. Nobody knows. It's like $524, right? Straight up. I paid it. I go have a CAT scan done. Bam, done.
Yeah, dude, it would be. It's unbelievable how they've made it. It's so convoluted and crazy. You should be able to be like, dude, there would be like monthly, like you said, monthly services, and you could have like the fucking, basically like an Uber Eats, but it would be a doctor that would just come to your, hey, like, I'm not feeling well, can you come check me out, kind of thing. Like, why don't we have fucking at home? We used to have that. Doctors would come to your fucking house and check you out. Why do you have to go there? Like, the whole thing is just fucked up. There's no market forces whatsoever. And to have the government step in and ruin all of that and essentially make it illegal, and the prices skyrocket and everything is dysfunctional, and people look at the situation and they're just like, oh, well, I guess we need more government. Jesus Christ, dude. It is. It just seems hopeless at this point. I don't know how you, other than just everybody opting out of this, how do you fix it? Because you can't, there's no government solution to this. Zero. And there doesn't seem to be any desire to tell the government to go fuck off. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
What? And I mean, these people talking about how they're going to have to decide between health insurance and their mortgages. I'm sure they're also like riding this huge household debt because they're probably still carrying student loans and stuff like that too. Like I'm sure there's a lot more that goes into that decision making of, do I get health insurance or do I pay my mortgage, than just those are their two bills. Like, I'm sure they have a metric fuck ton of debt that they don't know how to deal with any of that either. So like these are some pretty sobering numbers here. Not only, student loans. So this is from Zero Hedge. U.S. household debt hits a record 18.6 trillion as student loan debt defaults explode. Now the mortgage debt, can you read the numbers for the mortgage debt there? Yeah, housing debt is 13.49 trillion. And then the non-housing debt is 5.0.
5.1. So that's like, those are car payments that people can't afford. That's credit card debt, student loan debt. It's all bad debt. And it's just the way the American people are living is, I mean, it's ridiculous. And there are so many people in this position with if you scroll down, they'll tell you how much the credit card debt increased. The interest rate on these
credit card balances rose by 24 billion from the previous quarter and stood at 1.23 trillion, a delinquency rate of 12.41%, which is the highest since 2011.
Dude, 1.23 trillion in credit card debt. These credit cards have like interest rates of 28%, especially for people that, have a bunch of credit cards.
Yeah, like a really good credit card rate is like 20 to 24%.
Yeah. If you have like an 800 credit score, you can get that. But if you're if you're at 550, you're paying 30% interest on this shit. And they have no idea how it works because the American people were educated in government schools. They have no idea. So they just, I can afford the minimum payment. It's like $80 a month or something. Yeah, it's going to take you 30 years to pay off this credit card if you don't put any more money on it and you just pay the minimum. Now, who's doing that? Nobody. They have a fucking car payment at 15% interest because they had to buy a $40,000 car instead of a fucking $10,000, $12,000 beater. They're borrowing money to buy depreciating assets. The HELOCs went up. 11 billion worth of HELOCs to last quarter to 422 billion in HELOC. So they're probably taking out a HELOC to consolidate their credit card debt. And so they take all that 28% interest and they get like a 8% HELOC or something. But that frees up the credit card balances so they can rack that up again. And now they have twice as much debt in another year or two. Now they got the HELOC and they're back where they were with the credit cards because they don't change their fucking behavior. And then on top of that, you got the student loan stuff, which you cannot dispel in bankruptcy. They have worthless degrees. This is a disaster, dude. Non-housing debt balances rose by $49 billion. These numbers are fucking crazy, man. There needs to be more restrictions on credit cards, I think. I don't know. Like these people just cannot have credit cards. I mean, like how they cannot be, like you said, like what kind of job are they having where their mortgage and their health insurance are the same? And like, how are they racking up this much credit card? Because nobody's living within their means. You should never be carrying a credit card balance unless you are in like serious fucking trouble. It should not be a way of life to just be carrying a balance on that, paying 28% interest and making the minimum monthly payments. That's retarded, dude. And we're in the exact same situation fiscally as a nation too. It's just funneled down all the way down to the individual. Individuals fucked. State and local governments are fucked. The federal government's fucked. What are we doing? New auto loans, $184 billion. Like what? I'm sorry, dude. If you can't afford, like the car that you can afford is like what you can buy outright. You should not be borrowing money at 12-15% interest to get a new car. That's just ridiculous, man. Get a $10,000 car and save up for it. Buy it. I mean, this is like the whole, like half the population just needs like a basic finance class.
Here's the really crazy shit is the delinquency status of this stuff. Like severely 120, 90, 30. Like,
can you make that any bigger?
Yeah.
Probably not. Maybe if you click on it.
Check that out. All right. I can zoom in a little bit more.
So,
there it is. All right. So the red here at the bottom is severely delinquent. Actually, I think the backed up one was probably the better. So the red here across the bottom is severely delinquent for like, and this goes back to Q1 of 03. So it looks at the last several years, like in 10, 11, like 9, 10, 11, 12, recession. Yeah, like it really spiked. And then it all kind of leveled out, started to come down, and now we're starting to creep back up. And
so it's at 2%. The max it got to was like just under 4. It looks like for severe delinquency. And after the Great Recession,
we are working our way back to recession levels of all of this stuff.
Yeah, with much more debt than we had 15 years ago. Like, personally and as like a nation. What is that big fucking? That's the student loan delinquency.
Well, and
oh my god!
And like this is a make believe chart because the student loan delinquency just falls off from 21 to 25.
Yeah, because they put a pause on it.
Right? So nothing was considered delinquent. I mean, that's the same for the mortgage. Like you see in 20, the mortgage delinquency drops way off, and then it starts to come back up because in 20 they put a pause on it, and then in 22, like into 21, early 22, the different mortgage holders started to put an end to the pause. And so as more and more of them in their pause, then you see this creep back up.
And now, and then look what happened to the student loan debt when they turned it back on.
Yeah.
It didn't just go back up to where it was before they turned it off.
Straight through the roof.
It's almost 50. It's 50% higher. Immediately. Like, these people did not change. Like, they didn't take advantage of that 4-year period or whatever it was. 4 years, something like that.
Damn near it.
Yeah, where it's like you could have done so many things to put yourself in a situation to get rid of that debt, and they did nothing, dude. They just took that extra money and they spent it on other shit.
Credit card debt. And
that's why I have such little sympathy for these fucking. And then then they go on fucking food. Yeah, okay. Now you're on food stamps. You had a 4-year reprieve from student loan debt, from credit. A lot of people didn't even have to pay their fucking rent for a while. Remember that? There's a moratorium on rent. Like, yeah, you didn't change any of your habits. You took the extra money. You spent it on stupid shit. You're taking trips. You're buying all kinds of crazy stuff on Amazon. You're going out to eat. And then you're getting subsidized by responsible taxpayers. And you're getting your EBT cards. And it's like, oh, well, I'm working. Yeah. Something like 7% of fucking people on EBT were working full time. Give me a fucking break. By the way, if you've got one job and you can't pay your bills, get another job. Like, that's not unheard of.
There are 2 guys that I work with who are in the same position as me. We make really good money. Both of them still carry some student loan debts and stuff. They weren't fortunate enough to have gone to school on a women's basketball scholarship like I did. So they actually, they had to pay for their school. So they still, are carrying some student loan debt, and both of them work. One of them works at Home Depot and the other one works at Lowe's, because we work 4 and then we're off 4. So on our days off, they work at home. One of them works at Home Depot. The other one works at Lowe's. I was like, what? Like, why are you doing that? They're like, we've got student loans. Like, we're trying to pay shit off. Like, I mean, that's great because we don't have to work overtime. Like, we can choose to work on our days off if we want to, but nobody is forcing us to. So like they have chosen to, with their time off, use that time to have another job and to pay off debt. Like, why aren't other people doing? And these guys are like, one of them's married, but the other one's single with no kids. Like, if you're in your 20s and you don't have a spouse or kids, or even if you do have why are you not using this time to get yourself out of debt? Like, it's crazy that they think that when they're in their 20s and 30s, this is when they're supposed to be like living the dream. It's like, no, this is when you have the physical ability to bust your balls and get yourself in a good spot so that in 20 years from now, you position yourself where you can, retire at 45 like me and my wife are going to do, and fuck off to a farm somewhere and not have to worry about shit ever again. Like,
yeah, dude. And by the way, like, the best thing you have going for you when you're in your 20s is time. Like, you just need to put money aside and let it fucking grow for retirement. So the longer you put that off, the more you're going to have to divert from your later earnings to try to catch up for people in retirement. And dude, by the way, I did see this one headline. Woman sits in car for 14 hours to get food during New Birth Baptist Church food giveaway. More than 2,000 people waited in their cars in line Saturday morning in order to receive food. 14 hours in a car. So you have a car and you have 14 hours of free time.
You could have gone to work.
I could think of a dozen ways for you to fucking make money to put food on the table.
All right.
Just drive for fucking Uber. 14 hours. Do DoorDash deliveries.
You had time to go to work, come back, and sit for another 6 fucking hours.
Yeah. 2,000 people just sitting on their, I'm going to sit in my car and wait for free food. But we couldn't possibly demand that they fucking do anything to better their situation. It's like, give me a fucking break, dude. I watched that one fucking kid on YouTube or whatever, where he took like $1 and just every day he doubled it. Dude, he got up to it was a crazy amount of money. And it's like, yeah, the first thing you have to do is like sell something stupid. You buy like a bag of chips and you hope that somebody pays twice what you paid for it. Okay. And then he worked his way up. You buy a case of water and he goes outside on a hot day and he's selling individual bottles of water. And he works his way up. Dude, he made like fucking 50 grand eventually. Like a crazy amount of money in like 2 weeks. It was doubling the money every day. It was probably even more than 50. I can't remember what the numbers were. Eventually it got to the point where it was like, yeah, it was too much money. But just starting with $1, he made thousands of dollars in a week. I'm sorry, dude. And he was busting his ass every day. Yeah. Like, you got to work for it. But there's just no excuse for this behavior, man. And we are like, there is a day of reckoning coming. And I'm sorry, the government, who's been doing the exact same thing, who's made up a bunch of fucking worthless pussies like Bernie Sanders, they are not going to save you. They don't have anything. All they can do is take from the rest of productive society and give it to other people. And those people are going to leave, like they're going to leave New York. They will go somewhere. They might not go to your state. It's very easy to change states. It's a little harder to change countries. But like, dude, like, who's going to sit around to be bilked by Bernie Sanders? Not me. But I am retired at 41. So, what do I know? Yeah.
Right.
It is depressing, dude. It is depressing to watch this. Like you said, we're watching the fall of Rome in real time, and nobody's listening to people that are like, have actual solutions to these things. Be like, yeah, we've seen this play out. Here's what's going wrong. And people are like, nope, we're going to double down on that retarded policy that got us here.
Good fucking luck.
Yeah. Because I hate poor people and I'm racist or something.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
All righty. Coming up on what else? Do we have anything else today? Got a little more time. We got the shithole Chicago. But do we have anything else? Yeah, crank it.
Shithole Chicago.
That's all I had left.
Where the wind is cold and the people are low. Broken down buildings, ain't no place to go. But the music keeps playing in shithole Chicago.
So this is, I don't know how everyone else's Halloween went this past Friday, but this was Halloween broad daylight in Chicago. Jesus Christ, dude. I forget, what was it, 26th and something? Not like a terrible. It's in Bridgeport. Yeah. 26th and Emerald in Bridgeport. For the listening audience, this is a guy getting out of his car. By the way, using your car to trick or treat is fucking bullshit. But he's getting out of his car with his kid. Guy runs up with a gun. Pistol whips him. And is in the process of robbing him. Oh, here comes another guy. I'll take that. And a third guy comes. Takes his fucking car. This is all in front of his little fucking daughter, by the way. I think it's his daughter. Can't be more than like 3 or 4 years old. Jesus Christ. They're still robbing him at gunpoint. Pistol whipping. Okay. And now we'll take the car for good measure. This is all captured on somebody's Ring doorbell.
I found a follow-up video to this of the guy who got mugged talking about it. And
okay.
He's just a pathetic cuck. I don't even know what else to say about him.
So it's pretty traumatizing. You're just reacting to whatever is happening. You can't really think straight. She was actually crying like during the event, but I couldn't really help her because I was pretty helpless myself. And but now I think she's getting better. It's just making us not really sleep really well now. So we're very traumatized from that.
Kid there too. It's like, but he was defenseless. But even if he could have defended himself, do you really want to start that shit with your kid right there? Who knows what could happen? Again, dude, Chicago is a literal shithole, and it's being run by retards. like, I guess for like it's cheaper than New York and LA, but not that much cheaper. What? This is Jed. That's broad daylight, dude. Guy trick or treating with his kid. Dude, people have no fucking. These are soulless people. He stole his fucking car too. He left his keys in the car. It looked like. Like, yeah, dude, have some fucking sense of awareness. Probably shouldn't be trick or treating in neighborhoods that have to have a fence around their yard. That's usually a good indication it's not the best area. But yeah, happy Halloween. It's unbelievable, man. Imagine pistol whipping some dude and robbing him in front of his 3-year-old daughter and stealing his fucking car on Halloween.
I'm sure if there were more after school programs, those guys would have never done that.
Yeah, oh yeah, astronauts.
Yeah,
engineers. Totally. Yeah, and if you ask, Mom Donnie says that violence is like a social construct or something in some other clip I heard. Yeah, so he probably wouldn't even want to lock those guys up.
No,
they'll be out the next day and they won't lock them up in Chicago. How many priors do you think those guys have? 15? At least. I think it just the over under starts at like 12 now. It's like anytime I see some criminal doing something, it's not the first time. Dude, those guys swarmed on him like it was just like they were sitting there fucking waiting like vultures. They're doing that shit all the time. 15 fucking priors, been arrested a bunch of times on felonies. We'll just let them go. Keep doing it. And people keep putting up with it. It's like, dude, it really is not that hard to move. It really isn't. You just got to do it. But get the hell out of that city. Get the hell out of New York. Get out of LA. If you like those cities so much, go and visit them. Go visit for a long weekend or something. Do not live there. Ooh, don't raise your kids in those cities either, dude. Imagine raising a kid in the inner city of Chicago or New York or LA. Ugh, unusable school systems, rampant violence, expensive as hell, horrible, just morally bankrupt fucking people everywhere. Yikes. Oh, the only other thing I think we had was some fucking judge ordering that we have to have sign language interpreters now for every Trump press conference.
You know what? I want this. I want it because do you remember the Joe Biden sign language interpreter?
Yeah, the guy that faked it.
She was. Oh no, that was for somebody else. That was some black chick. No,
it might have been Obama, the fake guy.
Trump had one, or no, Biden had one that it was like a redheaded chick, and she was like. She would get real into it and make a whole bunch of facial expressions. Like she was fucking fun to watch. Like if we can get her back to be the signer for the press conferences and stuff, I'm all for it. Otherwise, like if it's not going to be somebody entertaining, I don't really care.
So what really drove me crazy about that was two thoughts. One, we have to fucking pay for this worthless job that is totally unnecessary. Because we have closed captioning. You can just turn that on if you're deaf and you could read it. But what the judge said was, well, not everybody can read English. So what the fuck do they need to listen to a Trump press conference for?
Then what are they getting from the fucking sign language? Because I'm pretty sure, I don't know, is sign language like a universal language or do you sign in different languages? Yeah. I don't know how this works.
Right, I don't know. Maybe it is universal. Yeah. It's like Mexican and sign language is different. It's probably universal, but like,
okay. Let's say not everybody can read English. I'm pretty sure
most people can actually.
I'm pretty sure your television or YouTube comes with different language settings for.
Sometimes they just have it in English, but I'm fine with that, dude. If you're not speaking English, you're not really interested in a Trump press conference. I wouldn't think. Why would you? Chances are you shouldn't be paying attention. That'd be like me paying attention to Mexican politics. Like I can't vote here. My Spanish sucks. Why would I Why am I listening to their press conference? What? And by the way, you could just listen to somebody who understands English. We'll do a podcast the next day and talk about whatever Trump was talking about in your native tongue. Okay. But yeah, no, I don't. What? Why are we have to do fucking sign language because they don't speak English and they can't understand Trump? They should not. They're not vote. Then they're not voting. They shouldn't be. And so they shouldn't be concerned with what Donald Trump is saying.
It should be like ICE going after the truck drivers, like giving them a reading test, and like if you can't read this like children's book, then sorry, you get pulled off the road and deported. Like if you can't read this children's book, then you shouldn't be allowed to vote. Sorry, like fuck off.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like you're from another country and you don't speak the language. All right, then you can. I guess you can stay here for a while. We're apparently allowing that. But yeah, no, you're not getting any more welfare, and you can't vote. And if you don't like it, you're free to go back to where you came from. Or if it's that important to you, you can learn the language. Yeah. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Just judge it. Nobody wants to instill any sort of fucking standards in people. We wonder why this country is so far gone. Been coddling people and making excuses for them my entire life. I couldn't. It's just it. And then anybody that wants to be like, no, here's the standard that you need to meet, and they're a horrible person now because they demand something of you, particularly when you're asking for something in return. Yeah, it's wild. But, how much longer do you think the fall of Rome is going to take? Fall of Rome 2.0.
I think within the next 10 to 15 years, honestly, if even that long. I mean, we're seeing that we're seeing a rapid increase in the rate that these things are moving.
Yeah.
So
well, that's how it happens. Yeah.
10 to 15 years, I think, would probably be about it.
That seems, yeah. I mean, that seems like a lifetime away for how fast things are moving. How fast they're deteriorating.
I mean, I've said it before. Like I talked about it. I'd been talking about it when I was in high school in 2000. And I thought like 70 years based on timelines that we saw looking at the Roman Empire and other empires that went through similar transitions into collapse. And I thought in 2000 it was like 70 years, and like 25 years later, I think I was off by about 50 years or by about 40 years. Like I really feel like here we are 20 to 25 years later, and we're probably in the next 10 to 15 years, if even that, like possibly 5 to 10, depending on if
somebody steps in and like puts a couple speed bumps in there or something just to slow it down a little bit. But there's no meaningful effort to completely turn the ship around a la Argentina. There's nothing. Like, could you imagine Trump going all Javier Milei, like legitimately Javier Milei in this thing? No, there's nothing. No, they tried the Doge thing and that blew up in their fucking face in a matter of months. And they weren't even really talking about cutting anything. A couple $100 billion and people were freaking out.
Yeah.
It is going to be like a spiraling that just keeps, like a snowball rolling down a fucking mountain, just picking up more and more speed and getting bigger and bigger and bigger exponentially. And I don't know, dude. I think we're past the point of no return. That was always kind of like one of the lines in the sand we would talk about just in terms of the debt is like when the interest payments overtake every other budget line item. That's happened. It's now the biggest expense is the interest on the debt. And what's their solution to that? It's just raise the credit card limit. Okay, yeah, that'll work. Oh, we'll grow our way out of it. Yeah, good luck with that. Maybe AI. Maybe with AI they can do something. But you know the Bernie Sanders of the world are going to come in with some sort of UBI or whatever for all the displaced workers. That's not going to be a great solution. So, yeah, I don't know. I'd like to see some secessions. Like, yeah, I don't know what we're waiting for. I don't know why we're clinging to this abusive, dysfunctional relationship. And anyway, lots of material for the podcast.
Yay. We will podcast our demise.
Yeah. There'll be a record of it. Hopefully, I wouldn't mind being wrong on this one. I just don't see how I could possibly be wrong.
You know, every time you said I wouldn't mind being wrong on this one, you end up being right anyway. So
yeah, unfortunately. So you got anything else going on this? Oh yeah, it's already Wednesday. Dude, I lost a day. Like I don't know what happened. Monday felt like Sunday to me. And then yeah, the reason we didn't do a show yesterday is because Justin and I both forgot it was Tuesday.
Katie was sick. I had a migraine. I wasn't
doing anything. I
looked up and realized
dawned on me at some point. I was like, "Oh, it's Tuesday." And I was like, "I better go get my Pollo Feliz at some point." But
I was sitting there and I realized what time it was, and it was like, "Oh fuck!" Like we already missed. Like because usually you'll text me, you'll message me or something.
Yeah. I totally forgot. Didn't feel like a Tuesday. Felt like a Monday. So today's Wednesday. We will do a show on Friday, I think, right?
Heck yeah.
All right. Maybe a happy hour. Should we do a happy hour? It's been a while.
I'm good with it.
Are you working?
Yes, I do work. I go back to work tomorrow night.
All right. Well, we will at least do a regularly scheduled program on Friday. Thank you all so very much for listening. I think we'll get out of here on that. And until then, you know what to do. Just keep on peddling that so-called fiction. Peace.